opponent is someone who competes against or fights another in a contest, game, or argument, a rival or adversary. Definition 2, a person who disagrees with or resists a proposal or practice. Now let's talk about that for a minute. I know what I'm supposed to do. I know what the word tells me to do. But sometimes I got to do my own thing. Now I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm not talking about the things, oops, Lord, please forgive me. I'm not talking about mistakes. I'm talking about those acts that we do that we know is wrong, and we're going to do it anyway. Oh, I'm just going to go to the gambling casino just for a couple hours. Just for a couple hours. Notice how we like to put that word just in there. Makes it seem like it's not so bad. That's how we do, Oh, it was just 36 drinks. I should be all right. Oh, I'm just going to watch one pornographic movie. That's not going to hurt. Just one. It's okay to miss just one Sunday. I'll be all right. It's just one. See, just make it sound better. But see, what we're doing is we're picking and choosing. And when we're picking and choosing, it's opposite of what the word is telling us to do. Therefore, we are an opposition of God. Now see, we have to call it what it is. And that's exactly what it is. We have to identify it in order for us to fix it. If we don't identify it, we're not going to fix it. You see, it's a opposition. It's free will. Nobody's forcing me to do it. I didn't do it by accident. I walked outside. I got in my car. I went to the casino for 2 hours. That's an act of will. Or it's weak will. Whatever you want to call it. But call it. Identify it. That's the only way you can actually surrender it. If a police officer came in here right now and he said, "You're all under arrest," our first question is going to be, for what? You got to identify it to me. And if he says, "Because all of you were in New York robbing a bank," that wasn't us. We weren't in New York. No way you can call it on that. There's no way. We're not even going to address it. We're going to leave it alone. But if he says, because you were coming into that parking lot, and, you were running late for church, and you ran that stop sign, but, that could have been me. And now we start thinking, I'm going to have to correct that. You see, once we know what it is that we have to surrender, then we could surrender it. But if not, we're not surrendering. We're not surrendering. We're saying we're surrendering, and we're trying to walk, but we're keeping those habits with us. Now, once you surrender, once you truly surrender some of these things that have been with us for a long time, something happens. You feel vulnerable. You see, surrendering is a very vulnerable position. That doesn't feel very protected. You understand that? The position of surrendering is not a very protected position. That feels worse. You see what I'm saying? A position of surrendering will make you feel vulnerable. And that is why when you fully surrender, God has given you the checklist to feel protected. Amen?
Amen.
God has given you a checklist so you won't be vulnerable. Amen? Verse 11 starts, put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Verse 12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Now we have gone over this time and time again. These verses are nothing new to us. We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but unfortunately, that's what a lot of us wrestle against. We're busy wrestling against flesh and blood. We're busy wrestling against ourselves. We're out here saying, oh, the devil's doing this, the devil's doing... The devil's not even worried about you because you're busy fighting yourself. He's like, I don't even do nothing for you. You're doing your own stuff. Once you have to deal with me, you're not ready for me. You're still playing child games. Do we get that? We have to be prepared and understand this fight ain't about here. It's not about us. And we make it about us, believe me, the devil's laughing. He's like, I don't have to exert any energy. You're doing it to yourself. And we trying to call it on him. But once we get out of self, once we realize what we're fighting, then you also realize you can't fight that fight if you're totally not committed. If you're not totally committed, that's a fight you can't fight. You'll back away every time and go back to what you're used to. But if you're totally committed, if you have totally surrendered, then you're ready to fight that fight. And then you suit up. Stand therefore having your loins girt about with truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness. Okay, understand. These are not suggestions like accessories. Like, oh, you know what? I think that suede will go better than that denim. Why don't you switch that out? No. These are not suggestions. This is necessity. If you are going to go into battle, if you're going to truly commit and surrender, these items are necessity. Do we understand that?
Amen.
Having your loins girt about with the truth and having on the breastplate of righteousness. We're protecting some sensitive areas here. The loins, the lower back, the sides between the pelvic and the ribs, protected. Comes from the word lumbus. The breastplate of righteousness. And we know the breastplate is protecting the heart, the lungs. Do we understand that?
Amen.
Once we get the loins, we get our breastplate, we're covered with the truth and the righteousness, I'm feeling a little more protected. Amen? But that's the trick bag. That's the trick. A lot of us stop. Well, I feel a little better now. Let me get on and move. And we ain't fully prepared. We're not fully ready. Remember your kids? When it was cold outside? And they dressed to go outside by themselves? Remember that? It'll be cold as the dickens outside. And they're dressing for the weather they feel inside. Okay, I'm going out now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Where you going? What do you mean just a sweatshirt? Well, let me talk to, the kids today. A hoodie. They think a hoodie is for everything. Boy, it's raining outside. I got my hoodie. What? But that's what we do. That's what we do as saints. We get that breastplate. Our loins are girt about. let's go. No. We're not done yet. But that's the trick. Have you go out there unprepared. And what happens when you go out there and prepare? You know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. You retreat quickly. I know. I've done it. Oh, no! I got to put something else on. We've all done it. We got to learn to do it spiritually. Not just forge out there anyway. Be totally prepared. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Stand on his word. Amen. Always be prepared to give an answer to anyone who asks for the reason that you have your hope. Sharing our faith is one of the best ways to maintain footing. Amen. Amen. We were talking about that yesterday. It's iron sharpens iron. The brothers is sharing their experiences. Growing each other. Standing stronger. Wasn't a man walking out of here that wasn't chest puffed out. Ready to take on the world. Amen. We're going to make it. No matter what the test, whatever comes our way, we're going to make it. When Jesus saw